Yo, before you scroll past this video, I need you to hear one number first. 8 points. For turnovers. A -12. That's not a rookie having a rough night. That's Olivia Miles getting cooked on national TV, and almost nobody is going to say a word about it. Sit with that for a second, because by the time I'm done today, you're going to understand exactly why this double standard has been sitting wrong with me for months, and why tonight is the night I finally lay it all out. Let's get into it. I want to start by saying something clearly so nobody twists my words later. I like Olivia Miles. I've liked her game since Notre Dame. Vision, court IQ, flair, all of it, I'm a fan. This isn't a hit piece on her talent. This is a hit piece on the coverage. Because here's the thing that's been bugging me. Every single time Caitlin Clark has an off night, it becomes a full-blown media event. Slow-motion replays of every missed three. Panel discussions about whether she's overrated. Twitter debates that run for 3 days straight. Meanwhile, when another young star has the exact same kind of rough shooting night, turns the ball over just as much, gets bodied on defense just as hard, silence. Nothing. Not a peep. And if you're going to put a player in the same breath as Caitlin Clark, if you're going to say she's just as good or better, then guess what? She gets the same scrutiny. That's not me being unfair. That's me being consistent, which apparently is a rare thing these days. So let's talk about what actually happened. Golden State didn't just beat Olivia Miles' team tonight. They dismantled her individually. And I mean surgically. From the opening tip, the game plan was obvious. Don't let her breathe. Every time she touched the ball, there was a second defender in her chest before she could even get her dribble going. Live ball screens got blitzed immediately. Live ball screens got trapped hard, forcing the ball out of her hands within a second or two of catching it. This is what real playoff-level defensive pressure looks like, and it exposed something that a lot of the highlight reel coverage conveniently leaves out. When you take away a scorer's rhythm, when you make them work for every single touch, the numbers fall off a cliff. At halftime, it was already ugly. For points, 3 assists. For turnovers, 1 made shot out of 5 attempts. People were already tweeting about it, wondering out loud if this was the get physical, get up in her, make her life miserable treatment we've seen teams try against Clark all season. And look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that's not exactly what it was, because the second half only made it more obvious. By the final buzzer, the line was rough. 8 points total, 3 of 12 from the field, 1 for 5 from three-point range. For turnovers, for rebounds, 5 assists, which sounds fine until you remember it came with 4 giveaways attached to it. And then there's the number that really tells the story if you actually watch film instead of just reading a box score. -12. Whatever she did individually, the team was worse with her on the floor in this particular matchup, because the defense had completely taken away her strengths, and she had no answer for it. Now here's where I need you to really lock in, because this is the part of the conversation nobody wants to have. If Caitlin Clark had this exact stat line, 8 points, 3 turnovers, sub 30% shooting, a rough plus-minus, this would not be a quiet Tuesday night story. This would be the lead segment on every basketball show for the next 48 hours. Analysts would be breaking down her mechanics frame by frame. There'd be a hot take about whether the league has figured her out. There'd be a debate about whether she's actually an MVP-level talent or just a media creation. People would be combing through her turnovers individually, cutting them into separate clips, captioning each one with something snarky. That's the treatment. That's been the treatment all year. And I'm not saying that to defend her. I'm saying it because it's true, and because it proves the point I'm making about everybody else getting a pass. There's a clip going around from tonight where Olivia Miles is visibly frustrated with the officiating, gesturing at the ref, clearly annoyed about the physicality being allowed. And look, I get it. That kind of defense is uncomfortable to play against. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. That's the whole point of it. But it's funny, isn't it, how when Clark does the exact same thing, complains to a ref about a hard foul or a no call, it becomes a whole narrative about her attitude, her maturity, whether she can handle adversity. Nobody's writing that same narrative tonight. Nobody's going to. And that's really the entire argument I'm making here. It's not about tearing anyone down. It's about asking why the bar moves depending on who's standing on it. A great player has a bad night. That happens, it's basketball. It happens to everybody eventually, no exceptions. The problem isn't the bad night. The problem is that for one player, a bad night becomes a referendum on her entire career, And for another player, a bad night just quietly disappears by the next morning like it never happened. I want to be fair here too, because credit belongs where credit is due. That defensive game plan tonight was excellent. Whoever drew that up deserves real praise, because taking a dynamic, unpredictable playmaker and completely erasing her rhythm for 40 minutes isn't luck. That's preparation and discipline executed at a high level. Physical on the catch, multiple bodies in help position, forcing live ball turnovers by disrupting her handle before she could even survey the floor. That's a complete team defensive performance, and it deserves recognition on its own merits regardless of what conversation it happens to fuel. But I keep coming back to the coverage gap, because it's the thing that actually matters if we're being honest about how this league gets talked about. If we're going to build these players up, compare them to each other, put them on the same magazine covers, argue about who's the face of the league, then we have to be willing to hold them to the same level of criticism too. You don't get to have it both ways. You don't get to enjoy the praise when things go well and get shielded from scrutiny when things go badly, just because the criticism is inconvenient for a certain narrative. Real respect means real accountability for everybody, across the board, no favorites. So here's my actual bottom line on all this. Olivia Miles is a legitimately talented player, and I fully expect her to bounce back and have big performances again very soon. That's not in question. What is in question is whether the people covering this league are willing to talk about her rough nights with the same energy they bring to somebody else's rough nights. Tonight she got exposed by a genuinely great defensive game plan, and instead of that becoming a 3-day cycle of hot takes, it's probably going to vanish from the conversation by tomorrow afternoon. That inconsistency is the actual story here, not the box score, the double standard around the box score. Drop your take in the comments. Am I being fair here, or am I being too harsh on a rookie having one bad shooting night? Let me know what you actually think, because I know this one's going to get some strong reactions either way, and I want to hear both sides of it before I bring this topic back up again next week.